Welcome on back, guys. Welcome on back to another episode of Beeple Reactions here on the Throned Out YouTube page. We're glad to be here. Hope you're happy to be here. Now into today's video. Before we get into that, we have to shout out Mr. Big Beeple, the artist behind the 5,000 Everydays image, which is the most expensive NFT to have ever been sold for over $70 million. The most expensive NFT ever sold. If you have not seen it before, the link is in the description to Beeple's website, where you can go look at these images individually and see what they're all about. I'm sure you'll be quite mind blown, and you know, if you do have children, it's definitely something you want to look at before it goes mainstream. So into today's video. Today's video is titled Crypto Worm. So we've got another video about cryptocurrency. We've had quite a few recently in relation to cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. And this image looks pretty cool. I really like the color pattern of this image. The color theme, sorry. You know, you've got the neon blue and the neon red. And you've got some very bright colors being contrasted by some very dark colors. And what exactly are we perceiving in this image? What is being shown within this particular image? So I think the main standout thing of this image right here is this massive caterpillar-like being. You've got what looks like a gigantic caterpillar, or perhaps a wasp, some kind of insect. And it does look kind of scary, it does look kind of creepy. Well, we have some type of insect, what looks to me like a half real, half robotic caterpillar. I would say it looks like a massive caterpillar, but it also could be a centipede, it could be a wasp, it could be a worm, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it a caterpillar. Now the scenery seems very dark, it looks underwater. There's one individual within this image and he's wearing an oxygen tank, what looks to be an oxygen tank on his back, which suggests that this is underwater. This image is underwater. And another thing which we see is a computer, and on this computer we see the symbol of Ethereum. You might have to zoom in a little bit to see it, but within this little computer below the caterpillar we have the symbol of Ethereum. This caterpillar is plugged into the computer, and this human with an oxygen tank seems to be looking upon this computer, trying to figure something out, or he's involved in some sort of dealing, some sort of going on. So, and the last thing I want to touch on is there is a CCTV camera. In the corner of this image on the right hand side you will see a lamppost or some sort of sign pole, and there is a CCTV camera coming off of this sign pole. Not just one, but 3 CCTV cameras. Now, of course, this is another crypto image, and I think what it's trying to show is something to do with cryptocurrency, immersing yourself into cryptocurrency, immersing yourself into Ethereum. Now, I don't want to go over everything I've mentioned within the previous videos and just have repetition, but I have been reading this book called The Crypto Book by Siam Kid, and in this particular book there are a lot of gems. There's a lot of clues about the future of cryptocurrency, there's a lot of good knowledge. And what I wanted to read today in relation to this image that we're looking at, that's going to help us to really understand this image and figure out what this image is trying to show. I want to spend this video reading what Siam Kid predicted about the next 20 years of cryptocurrency. He said the next 20 years, it may not take 20 years, it might take a little longer, but it's definitely a possibility within the next 20 years, or between the next 20 and 50 years, for these things to come true. And these are not just random prophecies about the future, these are prophecies about the future based on cryptocurrency. If we were to embrace cryptocurrency, if cryptocurrency was to take over and we lived in a world where cryptocurrency was replaced by money and everything was done under the authority of the blockchain, this is the type of world we could be living in, we could be looking at. So this is what this man had to say. There's 12 points. I'm going to read all 12 points, and this knowledge will definitely help us to understand what this image is and what this image shows, and then we'll come back to it at the end. So number 1, he said, in the future you will wake up fully refreshed. A bad night of sleep is a thing of the past. Now, in order to understand that first point, you need to understand the other point. So let's get into point number 2. Every room has smart lights and smart heating, all controlled by a central, private and secure home AI that knows you and your habits. The lights turn on in anticipation of you walking to the bathroom, and the hallways and rooms you normally use are perfectly heated. There's no energy wastage as a result, and you don't feel guilty because your home energy is clean and abundant. In fact, your home contributes to the national grid because you're generating excess energy from your Tesla roof, solar windows and battery packs. The national grid kickbacks you get are real time, and you are paid instantly via crypto into your wallet per joule of energy you create. There are also smart contracts which automatically send you a percentage of your earned money to charity. So you're automatically donating to charity with money you've generated for free. It's all on autopilot. Sweet. So if we were to embrace cryptocurrency and live in a world of cryptocurrency, over time we would see technology also start to develop and technology also start to change drastically. And one of the ways that cryptocurrency embracement could affect our world is that this smart intelligence, this artificial intelligence, will make its way into our homes to the point where we don't have to bother doing things like turning on the light, turning off the light. AI can do that for us, and it's quite crazy. It's quite crazy to think about. AI making its way into our home, studying our routines, studying our patterns, and me personally, to just turn on the light, to turn off the light, to flick a switch, it really doesn't take that much effort. I think having AI that detects when you walk into a room and turns on the light or turns off the light is so unnecessary, and it's just quite silly, to be frank. Now I want to read the next point. You have a shower using fully recycled and clean water that is not from a water company. So if we were to embrace cryptocurrency, in the upcoming years, between the next 20 and 50 years, there's a chance that the water we're going to use to clean ourselves is not going to come from a water company. So if it's not coming from a water company, then where could it possibly be coming from? It leaves you to really think about the technologies of the future and how they're going to interact with water to make water drinkable. Is someone perhaps going to invent something where salt water can be converted into sweet water that is actually drinkable and that we can clean ourselves with? Is that a possibility? Who knows? Number 4, you brush your teeth using your smart toothbrush. It analyzes your spit and sends the information down to your kitchen 3D printer. This 3D printer will make your favorite cup of coffee and also a breakfast bar filled with all the nutrients you are lacking. This will prevent 90% of all ailments and diseases, which will save the health sector billions per year. So they want to make smart toothbrushes so that when you brush your teeth, your toothbrush can analyze your saliva and figure out what is your cravings based on, I guess, the chemical state of your saliva. And according to that, they will make your favorite breakfast. They will analyze your spit to see what nutrients you have and what nutrients you're lacking in. And AI will essentially 3D print you food, 3D printing food. It will 3D print you a breakfast bar with all the essential nutrients which you're lacking in. And apparently this is going to save the health sector billions per year. So that's just crazy to think about. Point number 5. You no longer have to do any shopping. Your 3D printer makes your food and everything else you need. Amazon will no doubt have pivoted to being the main place to go to download the 3D schematics for your 3D printer if you want a new toy or other item for your 3D printing refills, which are automatically ordered and installed for you. So if you haven't heard about 3D printing, these are essentially printers which can print real life objects, not just paper, not just a bit of ink on paper. These printers can actually print objects. You know, they can print, I've heard someone's printed a gun from them. You know, they can print clothes, they can print food. Apparently they've even printed a house. They've even used AI to print a whole damn house. So 3D printing has been powerful for years and it's becoming even more powerful. And they're saying, according to this book, that the 3D printing game is going to become so popular and world-changing, and the main company which is going to be responsible for it is Amazon. So let's say I was to order a candle from Amazon. Instead of waiting for the candle to be delivered from the manufacturer to my house, I would be able to have a 3D printer, order it from Amazon, and my 3D printer will print the candle for me. And any necessary materials and whatever will be provided by Amazon. You know, 3D printing is a very interesting topic. It's also quite scary, but it does work and people have been using it. On to the next point. You go to work, except that it's not really work. You receive a UBI. UBI means Universal Basic Income, which frees you up from employment. So you're just working on your own new business project with AI robotic assistance. You're running this business for fun, not because you want to pay a mortgage. So according to this book, in the next 20 to 50 years, if we were to fully embrace cryptocurrency, have it replace normal currency, there is a chance that when you're going to work, we're all going to be receiving UBI, which is Universal Basic Income. He said that we're all going to be like small business owners. Everybody's going to be a business owner. And a lot of the normal jobs such as farming and washing dishes will actually be replaced by robotics. This is like a certified author with one of the most popular books about cryptocurrency to have ever been written saying this. This is not me saying this stuff. This isn't me saying it. This is this guy right here, CM Kid. You understand? So he's saying that everyone in the future is going to basically be a small business owner, and they're not going to do it to pay the bills. You know, they're not going to do it to pay the bills. They're going to do it simply for fun, simply out of enjoyment. And everyone is set to have AI/robotic assistance. On to point number 7. When you need new equipment, such as a new expensive 3D printer, raising the finance to acquire it is simple. It will take just hours to raise the capital, because thousands of people in your local area who will use your business will donate a small amount directly to your crypto wallet. They will then get an ROI. ROI means return on investment, because for every widget your new machine makes that you sell, your funders will automatically and instantly get a cut of the profits until everyone gets their ROI and your machine is fully paid off. Beautiful. One of the barriers to fundraising has been that the funders may not trust or understand where their investment capital will go. This way there is no concern that it will be wasted. As such, there are also now thousands of local stock markets around the world, like a Norwich or Manchester stock market. This means if you want to invest in the future of a particular local business, you can. So they're saying they're going to find a way to incorporate 3D printing into every kind of business. And if you want to support a local business, you can support by donating money towards the 3D printer, you know, for things such as the printing energy, for the materials, for the supplies of the 3D printer. And by donating towards a company's 3D printer, let's say there's a fast food company and they're 3D printing burgers, if you give money towards the 3D printer, you can help out that business. And in a way, every business is going to be like a stock where you can buy shares in every business. So let's say you walk down the main road, you walk past a sweet shop, you walk past a chicken shop, you can buy stocks, you can buy shares in all of those shops by simply giving money towards the 3D printing of the objects on sale. You know, they have very big plans indeed for this whole 3D printing thing. Point number 8. Money itself as we know it will be entirely alien to us. After nations around the world cryptofy, what does that sound like? Crucify, cryptofy. After nations around the world cryptofy their sovereign currencies, replace money currency with cryptocurrency, you know? He said, money itself as we know it will be entirely alien to us. After nations around the world cryptofy their sovereign currencies, there will be a logical and persistent shift towards two global currencies, the global spending coin and the global saver coin. The reason that Bitcoin became a speculative asset is because it had inbuilt scarcity, and so no one wanted to spend it because the price of it just kept increasing. It became the first global saving coin due to its deflationary effects. If you use the official global reserve currency, which may be the IMF SDR, as your spending coin, as it's what you need to pay your taxes, and it's inflationary because there is likely to be no cap on how many SDRs can exist. So it's saying that if cryptocurrency was to be the future, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin cryptocurrency is still going to be very, very popular, and it's going to be the official global reserve currency, So I guess it's going to be like gold. Bitcoin is going to be like gold. And if you see a lot of the other Beeple images, you will see the cryptocurrency being shown as golden coins, as shares in Bitcoin being shown as shares of having golden coins. Point number 9. It's time to go home. How many SDRs can exist? It's time to go home. Your automated Tesla comes to pick you up. Your ownership of this Tesla is effectively free, because for the 90% of the day where you don't need it, it functions as a mini cab earning money for you, and it earns enough so that your monthly finance for the car is covered. It even plugs itself in and recharges when it needs to. As driving is all automated and no one dies on the road anymore, car insurance costs have dropped 90%. There aren't any deaths because every automated car is on a blockchain with central AI oversight. There is also no traffic lights and far fewer cars on the road, and journeys are 50% faster. You're now home. That was point number 9. Point number 9, he's saying that if we were to embrace cryptocurrencies, it won't be long before we start having Tesla cars, which are electric self-driving cars. We already have electric cars, but these are going to be self-driving cars, which do already exist. They're just not certified enough to have been released towards the public. I think there is maybe certain areas, but in most places of the world, it's still illegal to have an electric self-driving car. But they do exist. It's just a matter of them being released. And according to this book, they're going to be so on point, they're going to be so professional that, the idea of car accidents, the idea of car crashes will be a thing of the past. It will be, left behind in history, and there will be little to no crashes. According to this man, the amount of crashes and the amount of accidents will have dropped 90%. Not 100%, but 90%. And, the incoming of self-driving cars, which will become the new norm, which won't even require people to any longer get a driving license, will reduce the amount of accidents that happen. And as I said, it's already been invented. It's literally just a matter of it being released. Point number 10. You're now home from work and want to do something fun with the kids. You all go skydiving over the islands of Hawaii in VR. is just as good as the real thing, as the VR goggles or contact lenses have the same, if not better resolution than human eyesight. So if you have a day of work and you're chilling with your children, you can literally go skydiving in Hawaii using the power of artificial intelligence, using the power of VR, virtual reality. If you've seen people wearing those goggles, those VR goggles, and if you've ever tried it for yourself, you know it is very realistic. These VR goggles do really put you into a next world, and yeah, man, they're gonna be so realistic to the point where they're more realistic than your own eyes. And going on holiday, going to places through these VR goggles will feel like the real thing. Now on to the last point, and you should definitely pay attention to this one. He said you fancy a quick weekend getaway with the family, so you simply jump onto a SpaceX rocket taxi, and fly from the UK to Sydney in under an hour, all for the price of a normal airline ticket. So this man is saying that if we embrace cryptocurrency within the next 20 to 50 years, there is a chance that SpaceX, which is Tesla's company, will invent essentially teleportation. And teleportation is known to be instant, but this is a bit slower. But it's saying a SpaceX, a Tesla space cab, or whatever they call it, can potentially take you from the United Kingdom to Australia within 1 hour, the UK to Australia within 1 hour from a SpaceX taxi cab, whatever the hell he called it. So he's saying teleportation may even be a possibility. And this is a real book. As I said, it's called The Crypto Book. You can Google it for yourself. This is one of the most famous books when it comes to cryptocurrency and learning about cryptocurrency. And these are just some of the claims he made throughout the book about the future of a world where we embrace cryptocurrency. And if we bring it right back to the image, which is the purpose of this video, we can see that, this man who is dealing with the cryptocurrency, the man stood in front of the computer, is only looking at the computer, but he's not looking at this massive caterpillar. People don't know, where did cryptocurrency come from? Where did Bitcoin come from? In fact, there's a man who invented Bitcoin, but little to nothing is known about him. He's a very private guy. So we literally know nothing about where these currencies came from. We don't know nothing about where blockchain came from. But we're being given these things. We're being handed these things. And, I guess we don't really get to see the menace behind the computer screen, which is, I guess, what this caterpillar, insect, demonic flipping thing represents. So I guess the whole moral of this image and of today's video is that the future is going to be crazy. It's going to be nothing like today. And technology has a massive role to play in it, as it always does. And use your computer screen, but don't fuse into your computer screen. Use the computer to maybe build your online business, make some videos, Google things, but don't get so lost and so immersed on these computers to the point where you're not doing everything else, because there's a whole world out there. There's so many things to experience, and until you experience them, you're going to regret all the time you've wasted sat in front of these screens looking at crypto stocks. But anyways, guys, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, and tune in next time to the Throned Out YouTube page.